Hi, in this video lecture, we're going to discuss a very commonly asked interview question, that is, reverse the order of the words from a string. Example, given a string of multiple words, like in this case, we have this string with 3 words. The first word is programming, the second word is with, the third word is Sikandar. I need to reverse the order, meaning I need to take the last word and I need to put in the first. I need to take the second last word, make it as the second word, and take the next word, and then put it as the next one out here. So here you can just observe the order of the words have been reversed. Okay, this particular problem can be solved in various ways, and one of the ways of solving this particular problem is using a stack data structure. And I will be solving this particular problem using a stack data structure and using C++ language. C++ provides me a built-in stack data structure. I'll be utilizing that. And through this program, we'll also learn about the various methods provided by the stack data structure of C++ STL. And this I could take this data and store it in an array of character, which is a C-style array of characters, or I could also use a C++ string, and I'll be using a C++ string, and through that we can also learn few things about the string object. So let me just try to create a variable which can capture this particular data. I'll try to write, this is from string. Okay, this is of type string out here. And let us see the logic before we get into the implementation. The logic of this particular program is you start traversing the element from the last to first. That is, starting from the character R, you try to place this in a stack. Okay. Then you try to check the next class character, which is E. We try to place this. Okay. Till when do we keep placing the elements in the stack? You keep traversing till you encounter a space. We keep placing all this character in the stack. Like we had R, the last character, E, then D, then we will try to take up N, then we'll also try to take up this A, then K, then I, then S, right? So we have placed all these characters in the stack. And now when you encounter a space, what you do it is, we start popping out the elements from the stack. So when you pop out the element from the stack, it will be in the reverse order of insertion. That is, first element will be popped out will be, which is there on top, which is S. So I can take that and I can put into the resultant string. So S gets deleted. And the same way, I gets deleted and we place in the resultant string. The same way, K gets deleted from the stack and fits in the resultant string this way, right? Now, I keep doing this operation as long as there's no further element in the stack. After that, I will continue doing the same for the remaining characters. I'll try to place this H into the stack. Then after that, T into the stack, and then I into the stack, and then W into the stack. And again, when I encounter a space, I need to do the same thing. I need to pop out this W and then place it here, then I, then T, then H, right? But yes, there are few things to observe, that we had a space between the last and the second last word and the third last word this way, but we will not have any space before the first word. Okay, that's one thing what we need to observe out here and be careful. Now, so we will try to solve the problems and see, the outputs are the intermediate steps, and then we'll see what best can be done to, handle every case. So let me try to start implementing this. So what I require is a stack data structure, and a stack data structure is already provided by C++ STL. Okay, so I'm just going to create a stack, and since it is implemented using the concept of templates, I need to specify the type of elements what you want to store. I'd like to store characters into that, and I can give any meaningful name for the stack object. I'll just try to write stack, okay, stk for the stack. Then the next thing is I would like to start from the last character. Now, how do I get the last character out here? Okay, so first let me try to get the index with last character. To get the index with last character, I need to know what is the length of the string. Okay, so to get the length of the string, if it is a C style array, that is plain okay character array, I could have just used strlen. But in this particular case, I do have a C++ string. Okay, so we cannot just pass this on directly to string length function. Instead, there is a method out here through which we can get to know the length of the string. There are two methods. One is length, the other one is size. You can use either of that. And this will basically give me total length of the string. And if I just try to use this I, okay, then that will pointing to an index where the null character is. But I don't want to start from null character. I'd like to start from character R. So for that, I'll just try to write -1 here. Okay. After that, I need to start traversing from last to first. Okay. Since I'm traversing from last to first out here, the I will be decremented, not incremented. Fine. This is the updation part, right? So when should I stop? Since I is moving from this particular value, whatever is the index, like it's an array of 26 characters, so it's going to be around 26, and then okay, keep moving backward. So here the first character is present at index 0, and I need to repeat as long as okay, I not equal to 0. When I goes to -1, I need to stop. So I can just say repeat this as long as I is greater than or equal to 0, right? Okay. This portion, if you want, you can also put this in the initialization part of the for loop. This can be done. Okay, right. Now, what should we do out here? I need to access the ith character from the string. I'll try to capture this into a variable called as C, wherein that will be data of I. Once I capture this character into this, now I need to decide that I need to push this into a stack, or I need to pop out all the elements from the stack. How do I get to know that? I need to verify if it is space or it's not a space. If it is not a space, I need to insert the element. But if it is a space, I need to pop out all the elements from the stack. Okay, as long as the stack is not empty. How do I check that? To check that, we do have a built-in function called as isSpace, which is also there in C. Okay, which is present in ctype.h. So I can pass on the character. This particular function is used to verify if a given character is space or not. If it is space, it returns me a non-zero value. If it is non-space, it returns me 0 value. But what I wanted is the reverse. If it is not a space, I would like to check if it is not a space, I'd like to push that. Push of C. Okay, right. This. Yeah, if you want, you can reverse this condition and then reverse these statements, what you write in the if and else part. Now, in the else part, okay, is like when you basically come to a case where you have encountered a space. When you encounter a space, then you need to pop out all the elements from the stack. Okay, so when you want to pop out all the elements, we require a loop out there. But how do I check out if there are any elements in the stack or not? For that, it provides me a method called as empty, which returns me true if the stack is empty, but it returns me false if the stack is not empty. So I need to repeat this as long as stack is not empty. So I'll try to write, well, stack.empty is false, repeat it, right? It means that there are some elements repeated. So what should I do? I need to pop the element. So how do I pop? There is a method called as pop, but observe here, the return type of pop here is 0. If you can just observe this, okay, the return type of pop here is 0. It says inline void pop. Okay, so it does not return me the element. So if you want to get the element which is the top of the stack, before you could delete it, we should take the help of another method called as top. Okay, we need to take the help of top, which returns me the topmost element, but it does not delete that. Now, once you get the topmost element, you can decide that you want to print that on the screen or you want to print the resultant object. So first, I'll try to print that under the screen. Okay, right. So this will take care of popping out all the elements from the stack. Okay. Now, let me just try to run this particular program and see what will be the output of this. And then we will try to do the required additions as per the seeing the output. So we had this data program Sikandar, and as you can observe carefully here, it says that Sikandar with, meaning the last word, it has basically given you the last word here, okay, as well as it's also given you the second last word, if you can just observe. But the first word is not present there. Plus, you can also see that there is no space between Sikandar and with. Okay, we need to take care of that space also. Fine. Okay. So now, once you pop out all the elements, I need to take care of placing a space character. So I just try to write a code to place a space here. Okay. This will take care of putting a space in between the words. But why is this last word, or can say the first word of the string? Okay. So why is this not printed? So is it inside in the stack or it is not inside in the stack? So that is something what we need to understand. To understand that, what we'll try to do is we'll try to debug the program. And how do we debug? I'm just trying to put a breakpoint out here. After that, I'm just clicking the debug pull down menu. I would say start debugging, or the shortcut is out here is F5. So I'd like to observe what is happening and where the problem is. So my program execution started, and I do have STK, and you can just observe the size is 0 here, and the data in that is program in data variable is program in Sikandar. C variable is as of now undefined. You will only be seeing the C variable once you get inside the for loop. Fine. Okay. So I'd like to enter the for loop. We can just see the first time I is okay, I'm not looking at I out here. I'd like to also have a look at I out here. I value is 24, right? Now I'd like to capture data of I, and when I try to capture data of I, you can just observe I got the character R. Is it a space? No, it is not a space. I'll go to line number 18, and line number 18, I'll try to put that into a stack, and you can observe that the size of the stack is increased from 0 to 1. Now, the same way, I'll try to repeat it for the next iteration, E, right? Then we can observe carefully that the size is getting incremented, okay? And data is actually getting stored inside that stack, okay? Now, then we came to K, then I, then S. After S, then when you encounter the space, please do observe now, okay, the value of I is 16, and the character at index 16 is space with the ASCII value 32, with the ASCII value 32 here. Fine. So we had placed, okay, the last 8 characters from R to S into the stack. So that is the reason size of the stack is 8 characters there. Fine. Now, I'd like to check out what should I do now. I need to pop out the elements. Okay. So here, as long as stack is not empty, I'd like to keep popping it out. I can also look at the data out here in the stack. You can just click out here, C is 8, and you can also have a look. We can just observe this portion, right? First R was stored, okay, and then going further, you can just see S was stored. Now let us see what element will be deleted when you use the pop. So when you use this pop, the last inserted element, that is S, gets deleted. Okay, you can just observe S was deleted from here, and that is put onto the screen. That is basically put on the screen out here. If you can just observe, S is put on the screen. Okay, right. Now, next what we'll try to do it is, we will try to repeat this operation because the stack is not empty. So I will be deleted, it'll be okay, then K will be deleted, then A will be deleted, N, D, E, R, one by one, all the elements will be deleted. And once the size of stack becomes 0, now it'll come out of the while loop. And once it comes to the while loop, you can just have a look in the output window that this entire thing is printed on the screen. Okay, now I'm taking care of printing a space character. After that, when I just go with the next value of I, remember I was 16 there where it has stopped at space. So I will be decrementing that. I'll be going to 15. So I'll be starting off with H, right? Since H is not a space, I'll try to put that H, then T, I, W. But after that, what happens is again, I'll start popping out. W is popped out, I is popped out, T is popped out, H is popped out, right? Again, stack becomes empty. It comes with the loop. It prints a space. And now we need to observe the last word if it travels from last to first, or I can say the first word, right? It is programming. Is it inserted or not? So on observation, what you can observe is the characters are being printed out here. Oh, sorry, it has been inserted into the stack. You can just observe one by one by one. All these characters are being inserted here. Okay. So the entire thing, like, okay, programming, right? See, everything is inside the stack. But after that, I becomes -1, and you can just see since it became -1, it came out of the loop, and then I is not visible outside the loop out here. It just came out. Now, what I could observe here is all these characters of the last word, if you traverse from last to first, okay, or you can also consider the first word, that was already inserted in the stack, but it was not popped out because the value of I became -1, it came out of the loop, right? So one of the ways what you can actually do it is you can try to write a code to print this one. Once you come out of this, since the last word will still be stuck in the stack, so you can write this particular one code outside the loop once. Okay, now this is to get the last word. Okay, and then let me try to run this. And you can observe that Sikandar with programming is printed. Okay, Sikandar with programming is printed. Fine. Okay, this is solving the task.